The story.
The story of how we met.
Right. So I'm from Wellington, and Jacque has been living in Auckland in New Zealand. So that's for people that don't know. That's like an 8-hour drive in between. So it's a an hour's flight or an 8-hour drive.
Yeah.
And so she was on that dating website. I was also on that dating website. And
But
yeah.
I had said that I only wanted to have anyone message me that I was in Auckland.
That's right.
Because
she'd put filters on her
I didn't want to meet him.
That's right. She put filters on so that people in Wellington couldn't see her profile.
Me and keep trying to hit me up for a long distance relationship because I didn't want one. I had just ended a relationship with somebody that was in Tauranga, which is like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that, away from Auckland. And I was like, nah, this is not going to work. Because it kind of turned into, who's going to move? Like I started getting obsessed about, well, who's going to move? And I had my job and ministry in Auckland, and I was like, I'm not moving, so I want to just date people in Auckland. But someone...
So anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I actually came to Auckland for a weekend. So when I'm in Auckland, I've got my phone with me, of course. I have a look at the app, so I think let's have a look at who's in Auckland. So then, because I'm geographically in Auckland, I can see the Auckland woman. I can see the Auckland people. And so I found her profile, I think at about 9 or 10 o'clock on the Saturday night that I was in Auckland. And so I was, we shared a little bit of a message. We messaged a little bit.
Yeah, that was a Friday night.
No, it was a Saturday night. Because we talked for an hour and a half on the Sunday afternoon.
It was Friday night because you tried to see me on Saturday. And I ignored your message. And then you were like, oh, okay, well, that didn't work. I'll have to try something else.
That's not how I remember it. It was Saturday night.
I still have it. It was Friday night. We messaged Saturday night, yes. But you first messaged me on Friday.
Okay, so anyway, on the Saturday night, she was, via message, she was being quite rude to me because she didn't like my profile and she was being quite abrupt. And, she was kind of like, you know how women, like, they poke you and they're trying to get a reaction out of you?
That's what I was doing.
Yeah, she was trying to poke me
and
try to annoy me and get a reaction out of me.
Okay, the reason?
Yeah, because she thought that her interpretation of my profile was that it was, I don't know, that I was trying to, I was trying to say what I wanted in the woman that I was going to be with.
His wording on his profile. So when he first messaged me on Friday, I messaged him back, I don't want a long distance relationship. Hope you find what you're looking for, which is my go-to sentences that I always send. And I thought he would go away, but he didn't. And he came back and was like, well, I don't want a long distance relationship either. And then he was like, maybe we can meet up. And I ignored it. The reason why, I go to his profile and on it, it's like, this is how I envision the date. You will come over and you will bring your kids and the kids will play and we will have family time. And when the kids are playing and they're off to themselves, then we will have, like, I was like, who is this person?
Anyway,
saying?
In my defense, I knew what my target market was, so to speak. And I was pitching to my target market. She got a little bit offended by it. Anyway.
Yeah, and so when he came back after I didn't message and we didn't meet up on Saturday, then that evening he messaged me and he said, okay, well, we'll have to try something else. So then that's when I poked him. I said, why does your profile sound like you're trying to tell somebody what to do? So I was trying to see if he was a jerk. So because he came back, kind of showed some persistence that he wasn't going to just like let me just go or whatever. And so I was just like, okay, fine. Let's see how persistent you are. So I was trying to see if he was a jerk. So we messaged and so it was getting late because we were messaging. So
No, because you poked me, but then I didn't take the bait.
Yeah, true.
So I responded.
He's actually really awesome.
In a mature and kind way, which took her by surprise.
It did. I thought he was going to be like, whatever, and get all like testy and all upset. And then I would be like, bye-bye, would have been fine.
That's right. So that's when she knew that she was dealing with a higher level.
It's true.
Yeah, and so I then asked her for her phone number, which...
And you gave me yours, and you said, when you feel comfortable, text me.
Right.
And I was like, no, if we get into this whole texting thing that people do nowadays, I'll never know if he's a jerk because I'm always reading text. So I was like, I want him to call me. So I said, well, because I knew he owned a business. So I said, when you have time, call me.
Right. And so on the Sunday afternoon, while I'm still in Auckland, I gave her a call and we talked. I remember this very clearly. We talked for an hour, 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I saw that on my phone.
You remember that?
Yeah, so we talked for an hour, 38 minutes as our first phone conversation. And I was sitting in a car, I think, and she was at her house, I guess. And we talked for an hour, 38 minutes.
I was on a one of those elliptical machines.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was talking to you.
And then that evening, I flew back to Wellington, and then I came back home, and I rang you up again, and I think we talked for about 3 hours that night.
Yeah, we talked a long time that night.
We talked for about 3 hours that night, and
couldn't get enough of all this.
So actually, after that 3 hour conversation, I think in my heart, I kind of thought, oh yeah, I think I found my wife. I was thinking that I was thinking that pretty very early on.
Yeah.
Very early on, I thought, oh, I think I might have found my wife. After that.
Yeah, the next message he sent me, it must have been Monday. He said, I hope I'm not jumping the gun, but I sent my friend your picture and I'll show you the caption. And when he sent me the caption, it says something like, I think I found my next wife or something like that.
Right.
Was the caption.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, so I wasn't very, because you told me that second conversation on Sunday, I think I could fall in love with you. Did
I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. So that was a Sunday night.
Yeah,
that's right.
That was the first day we talked. But it wasn't scary because I knew what he was talking about. Like, I knew what you meant because there was definitely a connection and a level that I don't think that I had experienced before.
Right.
So I was...
Hope not.
Not yet, anyway.
And of course we hadn't met at this stage. This is just two phone conversations. And then we talked every day for about 2 weeks, and I think every day was like around about 2 hours.
Like 2 to 3 hours every day.
2 or 3 hours every day. So big long phone calls.
I know.
For 2 weeks, and during that 2 weeks, I booked flights to come to Auckland and meet her for the first time.
Yeah, and then you got scared.
And then I flew to Auckland and met her. And it's actually, to be fair, it is really, really weird meeting somebody for the first time when you've had this online or a verbal relationship, and then all of a sudden you've got to be in the same space as them. And
because we started falling for each other like right away.
Right.
And we were on the phone and we're on the video chats and stuff, which weren't that often at that point. But we were on the phone every day. And we started falling for each other in that time. But then when we met up, it was like, just recently you said that it was a little weird seeing an African American in real life.
Oh yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first African American I've ever met. I think I'm pretty sure. So really, my experience of African Americans before Jackie was the Cosby Show and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Dave Chappelle. Eddie Murphy. Let's not forget Eddie Murphy. Yeah, he's in there.
All male comedians. Interesting.
Yeah, and Chris Rock, couple of others, but never actually experienced
like known anybody.
No, that's right. And so it's I think like when you anything that's really different, it does take a little bit of an adjustment period, and it took me a little while to get used to Jackie.
What do you mean little while? You mean that weekend?
Or
even after the second time when we met up?
Yeah, maybe more than the first weekend. So that first weekend, I came to Auckland for a weekend, and we spent the weekend together. And I think I got more and more familiar with you over that weekend. But I might have taken a couple of weekends.
Yeah, because
for me to
every
get
time
comfortable.
that we would meet up again, you'd have to kind of like restart. Then then after the first weekend, then 2 weeks later he came back out to Auckland, and that's when you asked me to be your girlfriend.
Right. Yeah. We had a Skype session with your parents.
Yeah, because I have this rule that before I will be anyone's girlfriend, I want them to meet my parents. And I've had guys say, "Oh, you're in your 30s. Why do you have to have your parents' permission?" And it's not permission. For me, it is my parents know me very, very well, and I trust their wisdom, and I want their wisdom in my life. And they, even if they have questions, they never say, "No, that's not the person." But they do ask me questions and be able to bring up things, just to kind of have that checking out. So I like my mom and my dad to be a part of that decision. And so they already really liked what I was telling them about Jeff. So they didn't really pose anything. It was actually, you need to be careful, Jeff, because you know how Jacque is conversation.
Yeah, they're warning me about you.
Yeah, they were warning him. So it was more of that, because they really, honestly, they really liked everything that I told them about you. So, yeah.
Right. So that was good, and I really enjoyed that first conversation with him as well. It was a really good chat to meet Jackie's folks. And then it was right at the end of that phone conversation when we finished.
Oh, so romantic. He tricked me. He made me think he was romantic by doing that.
You got to do that at the beginning. Yeah, it's good to.
And then now I found out he's
lift
not
their
really
expectations
that romantic.
and then crush them later on. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I did buy you flowers yesterday, though. Thank you.
He did. After me begging and negotiating.
That's what it takes.
That's what it takes. Persistence.
Right. Persistence. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
right.
how we met.
So that's how we met, and then we had, because that was in May 2017 that we met. So we did this.
That must have been in June then, because we met the 21st of May was when we had a phone conversation.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe met in June. And then we spent the rest of 2017 me going to Auckland or Jacque coming to Wellington.
Long distance stuff.
And we did go on holiday together in the school holidays. Around August, I think, something like that.
I came here.
You came, that's right. And then only in December, just before Christmas, just a couple of months ago, Jacque moved to Wellington. And
yeah, so we can have our happy ever after. Yeah. Yay, cool.
That's right, that's the story.
That is the story. Thanks, babe. You did pretty good.
Thank you.
You behaved pretty well.
Thank you.
I might have you on again.
We'll see.
Okay, guys, if you have any other questions, anything, I do have a hair video. Someone's asked me about what do I do with my hair? Where do I go? So I'm going to do a video about that. But if you have anything else that you want to know, let me know. Bye.